Welcome back, everybody. My name is BluJay, and we are back in the base once again today, and as you can see, our nether portal is gone. Now, don't get all worried and freaked out. We didn't mess anything up when we placed that nether portal back down. It's going to lead us exactly where it did before, right next to that nether fortress. What we're doing today is we're going to make that look a little nicer, because it was a pretty big eyesore, and pretty big is an understatement. If you haven't seen it in the previous, 14 episodes, since this is episode 15, it's been there since day one. And I just wasn't happy with it, so we're gonna work on that today. We tore it down, we're gonna build another portal room, and get it looking all good. So let's get going. I've already done some work in here and dug this out. We've got our doorway, and this block right here is the center point where our nether portal is going to go. So let's go ahead and grab our obsidian blocks, and I don't see it. I think it's in the ender chest. Yeah, there it is, flint and steel. So we're going to grab that and start placing these blocks down. Now, if you don't know how to build a nether portal, I'm actually going to dig that down one more. If you don't know how to build a nether portal, this is a good tutorial, because you can basically build it any shape. Well, not any shape. Let me correct myself before I go any farther. Any size is what I meant to say. It has to be some sort of rectangular shape, but any size as long as it is a minimum of 5 blocks tall by 4 blocks wide. Now, the one we are going to build is significantly larger than that. It is 13 blocks wide and 7 blocks tall. It's basically a very long rectangle. If you saw the one that was in here before, it was basically a giant circle. And before you say anything in the comments, you just said, BluJay, that you can't build anything other than a rectangle. Well, that's true. The reason why it looked like a circle is because it had a bunch of stone in front of it, and I was going to try to work that out to where it looked a little bit more natural. Yeah, that's pretty good. Let's go on across. Like I was saying, I was going to try to make it look a little bit more natural, like it flowed into the mountain, and I think before we light this up, I think I messed this up. I think that's only 6 blocks tall. Yep, I need to dig it back out. Sorry about that. I'm distracted trying to talk here. So, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. I was going to try to make it flow into the mountain and make it shape really cool and all of that. But before I did that, when you came back from the nether, for some reason it spawned me in the section that was hidden behind the wall facade, and I just didn't like how that happened, and I didn't want to have to find my way out every single time I came back from the nether. I just wanted something easy that looked good. So this is the solution that I came up with. I built this entire room once again in a testing world before I built it here, just to make sure I had the correct supplies and the look and feel that I was going for, especially because we're going to do something a little interesting with this room. And we'll get to that a little bit later. Yes, that's the correct size that we want. 13 blocks wide, 7 blocks tall, and we'll place in the last couple of blocks here, and then I think we can light this thing up. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. So, not to give the idea away too early, basically this side of the room is going to be one look, and the other side of the portal will be a completely different one. Yes. Awesome. That's looking really good. Let's move on. All right, now that we've got our portal in place and all lit up and ready to go, we need to shape this thing out a little bit. So we're just going to be digging the rock here, the stone here, that's what it's called. We're going to be digging that out as we go, because we're going to build a ceiling up here at some point, but we at least need to clear it out so we can get our frame in place. And the material that we will use for this side of the room, and like I said in that last clip, we're gonna have a completely different look and feel on either side of the portal, and it's gonna basically look like one side is the overworld and one side is the nether. And it's probably not a completely original idea. I'm sure this idea has been done before, but I thought it would be pretty cool, and I hope you guys like the final design. I really do. I need to put a piece of stone back in there because I don't want to waste my logs. There we go. All right. Speaking of not wasting materials, I thought it was hilarious. Just a complete side note here, that in my comments section last episode, one of you guys pointed out to me that right after I made the comment about not wasting blocks by putting the materials that we're using underneath places that are going to be hidden and not exposed to the eye, and I actually did that in the episode last time with my bookshelves. One of you guys pointed that out to me, and I thought that was really funny. So, good catch. I didn't even catch that myself. Okay, let me dig this out a little bit more, and then we'll keep going. We got ourselves some fences, and we are going to place those in this gap in the frame and down each side. The one thing that I don't like about this so far, not about the build itself, but about the room, is the doorway. We're going to have to widen that out a little bit because, as you can see, it kind of blocks the portal, and that's the feature of the room. If we can't see the portal, we need to do something to fix that. So, onto this side. This side, like I said, is going to be our nether side. Let me grab some supplies. We have our nether brick, and we're basically going to do the exact same thing we did on the other side. We're going to build the frame up, as long as I can, avoid hitting my head on blocks. There we go. We're going to build the frame up 7 high and go all the way around the portal. Now, if you've never found a nether fortress for one, where you can get these nether bricks, you might know the pain of trying to get them, because for every single nether brick block that you get, in order to craft that, you have to have 4 netherrack for one block. And not only that, you have to smelt... Oh, I just fell down because I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing. You have to smelt the netherrack. So you're using resources to smelt it into little nether bricks. And then you have to take those 4 nether bricks from 4 netherrack and craft it into one single nether brick block. And it just takes a lot of resources. I hope I'm not missing gaps here because I can't really see. Let me get some scaffolding here and check out my work. Oh, yep, I missed one spot right there. And there we go. All right. Looking pretty good. The frame is really coming together. It's a pretty simple frame. There's not a whole lot more to it other than the blocks themselves and the fences. The real trick is getting that to work with the rest of the room. So let's go away for just a minute, and we'll start working on the room design. If you've seen any of my other episodes, then this design right here is probably going to be pretty familiar to you. Well, let me clarify that. Any episodes where I've been building in the main base area. Because what we're going to do here is we're going to make the path from the hallway flow towards the nether portal, and it'll kind of flare out towards the end, so it'll widen out to almost the same width as that portal. So that's why I'm digging these blocks out just like this. And there we go. All right, so what we need is our spruce wood to finish the frame right here. And it's kind of like a transition strip. And we'll place our spruce planks just like that, leaving 1 block on each end by those fence posts. And it'll kind of just taper off just like that. And each row, it will decrease 1 block until these spruce planks get to be a 3-wide pathway, just like the rest of our base. Oh, come on. Place them in the right spot, BluJay. Okay, yeah, not bad. So now we need our oak stairs, And we basically just line the side and cut these blocks out just like that. And line the side and rotate them around until it meets the portal. Awesome. All right, let's do that on the other side. Whoops. Not a torch. Get the axe. There we go. And we'll place them down just like this and carve these blocks out just like the other side, making room for our stairs. And perfect. Oh, I guess I can't pick those blocks up. We'll let those despawn. We don't really need them. Awesome, that's looking pretty good. Done a little bit of work off camera, and as you can see, there's a floor down here, and I'm basically just putting on the finishing touches, and I will show you in just a second once I get these last few blocks in place. Basically what we're doing here, again, if you haven't seen my base building episode, I believe it was number 3 or 4 or something like that. It was fairly early in the season. We basically went over how to build this exact style because it's the same style as the rest of the base. That's what I talked about in the last episode. Having the same look and feel throughout our base, but each room has its own unique identifier. So this is the Nether room, so it's going to feel a little bit nethery to some extent. And, oh man, I am out of fences. So I need to get some more. Let me do that, and I'll do the rest of this room off camera. And as you can see, it's looking pretty good. And we're on the other side of the portal, ready to do a little bit of work over here. We need our nether bricks again, and some nether rack, because we are going to make this place look like the nether has spilled out of the portal and kind of taken over the mountainside a little bit. That's the look and feel we're going to go for on this side. And we're going to make the same shape mostly at the end here. It'll taper off down to 3 blocks at the end, but the only difference, this isn't going to have a pathway at the end of it, at least not straight out. I've got an idea that I'll show you here in just a few minutes, but the reason why it's not going to have a pathway is, if you can look and see right now, it leads directly into that pond right there, and we don't want to cover that up, and there's nowhere to really go. The direct opposite side of the pond over there, that's where our blacksmith shop is, and we could build a pathway over there, but I don't really see the point. We have a path all the way around, and we don't really want to bypass that. There's not really a point. It's not that big of a base. I mean, it's pretty decent size, but it's not that big of a base that we need to build a shortcut. So we're not going to do that. The next thing that we need to do is same thing that we did with our oak stairs. We need to make these stone brick stairs go all the way around. Whoops. All the way around our little platform here. Oh, come on. Come on now. Now, this platform, at least in my mind, doesn't have much of a purpose other than purely a visual design element. If you guys can think of anything that I could do with this pathway that would give it a practical purpose, then let me know what you think in the comments section. I value your feedback and your suggestions. A lot of the time, if I don't have an idea on something, or if I've designed something and have done something horribly wrong, like with redstone a couple episodes ago that was going to break the system that I had just built, I'll take you guys' suggestions and I will take them into consideration. I won't always do exactly what, people suggest in the comments, because I do have my own ideas and plans for this series, but I do value your feedback and I do take that into consideration. So please leave comments in the comment section. It helps me to build a little bit better and to do things that you guys want to see. So all that goes to say, if you've got any ideas for a practical use for this platform other than a visual element, I would love to hear that. Now the fun part begins. We're going to take our nether rack and we're just going to fill this floor area over here. And as soon as we get a base floor design, we're just going to spam it everywhere and just make it look like the Nether has spilled over onto the mountainside. And I've got a really cool visual in mind for this, and I hope it turns out exactly how it's going to look in my mind. If you see over in this corner back here, this is what I was talking about a minute ago. If there were to be a pathway, it would lead over here. And I'm thinking maybe we can use this as a second staircase down into the bottom part of our base where we could build a nether wart farm, and it would be directly connected to the nether portal room. Okay, there we go. And I'm kind of thinking that's what we're going to do, but if you have any suggestions about what we could do with that room, maybe that's just a room by itself and it's just a small area that dead ends right there. We'll need to wall it off because that butts up right next to our enchanting room, but I think that's what I'm going to use it for, is a staircase down, and we'll put our nether wart farm. I seem to have lost the ability to speak. Anyways, we are going to put our nether wart farm down on the second level below. So what I'm doing now is just spamming blocks around and cutting some of the terrain out and making it go up a little bit and down a little bit, because in the nether it's a pretty rough terrain and it's really dangerous. So we need to try to replicate that a little bit without all of the scary mobs that are in there, wither skeletons and gas and all the fun things in the nether. All right, let's go over here, over to our blacksmith shop. Not to do anything in there other than to take a peek across the pond and see what we see. I hope this looks good. It's not bad. It's looking okay. It needs work. Let me do a little bit off camera, and I'll show you what we've got when we make a little more progress. Oh, yeah, that's looking pretty good. Oh, I'm so excited. That's awesome. It really does look like the nether is taking over the mountainside, and it's just spilling out everywhere. So let's stop gawking at our work here, stop admiring what we've done, and keep going, because it's not done yet. There's one thing about that I'm not super thrilled about that is an easy fix. It looks like our platform is just kind of floating off the side there with no support underneath. So we need to add some support structures. And what we're going to use for that are these nether brick stairs. And, oop, that's the wrong direction. We need it to go towards the mountainside. Oh. I just fell into the water again. We can place that down there. And where can we go to get back up? Come on. Learn how to swim. This is not going well. Okay, there we go. Back on dry land. Let's try not to do that again. And jump. And wow. My movement skills have rapidly declined. Let's just pretend that didn't happen and keep going. All right. Nether brick stairs. There. And not there. That's not what we wanted. We want it to go down. Just like that. There we go. Man, this is a struggle. We need it to look like these stairs are, pillars that are coming out of the side of the mountain to hold this up. Just like that. And we need to carve out that nether brick or nether rack right there. And yeah. I think we'll keep that. No, I don't think we will. Changed my mind. We'll put another stair there, just like that. Yep, that looks a lot better. We'll keep that design. So we're going to do that same thing on the other side. And we need to place it down in the same spot, mirrored on the other side. And I think that is right. Is it right there? No, it's right there. And I did the same thing. I put it the wrong way again. So let's try not to fall in the water. There we go. And I don't think I can get it from this angle. Right there. Can I get it from here? Yes, I can. I think. Is that the right spot? Oh, I'm so confused right now. Let me figure this out, and I'll come back in just a second. Stairs are in place, and now we're going to put down some nether bricks across to link them together. And in front of that, we're going to get our nether fences, nether brick fences, that is, and run those across the front. And that just gives it a little bit more depth. They're pretty dark, and it's a shadowy, dark area, so you're probably not going to see a whole lot of that detail, but yeah, I like that. It looks a little bit more structured. It looks a little bit more solid and supported, and that's the look that we're going for. Perfect. Let's move on to the next thing. Ladies and gentlemen, do not try this at home in your own base. If you have any sort of wood structure for your base, because it can easily catch fire and burn down. Now, we're going to be careful here. I have kind of given myself some parameters as to where I can light things on fire and where I can't, because it would be quite the shame to lose all of our work and burn down our entire base. Everything that's made of wood, that is. So we're going to be careful not to do that. So anything that we do nearby in the future... Oh, what a moment. I caught myself on fire, and I got a subscriber to YouTube, all at the same moment. What a day. Okay, well, while we're on this conversation, if you are watching this video right now and you haven't subscribed, I would encourage you to do so. I've got a lot of really cool ideas, a lot of content that I've got coming out in the future that can help you in your own worlds if you are into playing Minecraft and not just watching it on YouTube. I imagine most people that watch this play themselves. And yeah, I would appreciate your subscription to my channel. It's free, it doesn't cost you a thing other than your time, and it really helps me out a lot. So go ahead and click that button if you haven't already. And another thing I would encourage you not to try at home, in real life or in your Minecraft world. If you can get a hold of a bucket of lava in real life, we probably have some different conversations to have, and you probably got some bigger problems. But don't drop lava. It's just a bad idea unless you have a solid plan. We are going to be very careful with where we place this, and I'm still trying to figure out where that's going to be, because we don't want it to flow where we don't want it to be. And I think I want it to go there, but we need to block the flow off to the side so it doesn't go that direction. And we want it to go down into that hole right there, I think. Let's give it a try and hope it doesn't go everywhere. Go down, go down, go down. Perfect. It's just like a little lava waterfall. Adds a little bit of depth, and I know you probably can't see that block from afar, but it's going to bother me if I didn't change it to netherrack instead of stone. It's all part of the look and feel. All part of the environment. All right, so let's figure out where we're going to place these other lava buckets. Let's dig out a little hole right there. And there? Nope, that's going to go everywhere. Pick that back up. That was a bad idea. What were you thinking? Let's be a little bit more careful. Put one there and one. Not there. Well, yeah. Okay. Okay. That's not bad. I think I can live with that. All right, let me place down a little bit more lava, and I'll show you what we got. Are you ready to see what we have come up with? Let's round this corner right here, and boom. Look at that. That lava spilling out into the lake. Perfect. It covers up part of the lake a little bit and turns it into stone, but that's okay. We're okay with a little bit of that, as long as it doesn't overtake the entire lake. Or pond, or whatever this thing is called. Yeah, that's awesome. That is looking very, very nethery. And it's not quite done. We need to do a couple more things, but let me grab the supplies that we need for that, and we'll finish this area up. It just wouldn't quite be the nether without a little bit of soul sand. So we've grabbed some soul sand, and we're going to just sprinkle that around a little bit here and there. Definitely not going to overdo it, because we want the main feature to be netherrack, because when you go into the nether, that's what you see. You see lava, fire, and netherrack just thrown everywhere. And occasionally you'll see patches of soul sand here and there, and oh yeah, I like that. That's pretty cool. You'll see soul sand every little bit here and there, but they come in patches. It's definitely not like you'll see an entire terrain area of soul sand. So that's what we're going for. We want to be conservative with it, but enough that you can definitely tell that there's a variant in the texture. And let's go over here to this side, and we'll put some down here because we want to have a little bit of an even spread across the mountainside. Do not fall in that lava, please. Do not do anything stupid, BluJay. Do not fall down there. Please do not fall down there. Let's go around. And I don't know why that's there. We're going to get rid of you. Ruins the illusion a little bit, in my opinion. So that block is gone. And let's cover that dirt up a little bit. And throw a couple more there. And there. And there. And there. And there. I hope this looks good. I don't think we're going overboard. I know I just talked about not going overboard with it. I don't think we did. I think we're still good. Let's run to the other side to be sure. We'll take a look and make sure it still looks like the nether. Oh man, I really need to turn notifications off. I keep forgetting to do that. And ready for the big reveal? There it is. Yeah. I love it. That's looking pretty good. So we're running a little bit long today, and we need to wrap it up here soon. So I'm probably not going to show a whole lot of this roof design, or ceiling rather. Roof is the outside, ceiling is the inside. We're not going to show a whole lot of this because it's basically going to be the same roof design as in our blacksmith shop. And if you want to see that, then go check out that 3-part episode thing. Trilogy, that's the word I was looking for. That trilogy of episodes where we built the entire blacksmith shop. The roof design build is in there as well. So, I said it again, roof, ceiling. The ceiling design is in that episode. One of those 3. I don't remember which. But go check it out. It's a pretty cool series of 3 episodes, and I think you'll like it if you haven't seen it yet. So, we're going to do a lot of this off camera, but there are a couple of feature items for this room that I will absolutely do on camera because it does vary a little bit from our blacksmith ceiling. So let me get this done, and we'll work on those feature items together. All right, so I like this design so much, I may consider actually going in and doing it in the blacksmith shop too. Not the ceiling design, this is almost identical, but we're adding some lights in here, just some hanging ceiling lamps, and they're really simple. It just takes a few spruce fences, 1 piece of glowstone, and some trapdoors. This is a pretty standard design. I didn't come up with this idea myself. Oh, that's the wrong direction. I didn't come up with this idea myself. Plenty of other people before me have put trapdoors around glowstone, but it's a pretty standard method of covering up that texture and making it look a little bit nicer. Not that it's an ugly texture, but I prefer putting trapdoors or using redstone lamps. There we go. And it just kind of completes this room. It makes it feel finished. Having the ceiling done and having some lighting, and it does help up light a good chunk of the room, so we don't have to have torches everywhere. And yeah, guys, I think we're about done. This project is really coming together. So the last thing that we need to do today is place down a couple of chests. One regular chest right here, where we're going to temporarily put our nether supplies. We don't have a ton of them, but we need a place to put them until we get our massive storage room done, because this isn't going to be quite like the the lumberyard where we have bulk storage for wood supplies. And to be honest, I haven't used that a ton. I need to start doing that. But we're going to have a big storage system a little bit later. But for now, this is where we're going to keep these supplies. The purpose of this chest actually is to throw supplies that we don't want to take into the Nether, that we don't want to lose, and that way we can leave them there. And then we have our ender chest, where we can store things that we want to carry with us, but if we die, we're not going to lose them. And look, I've got 3 wither skeleton skulls, so we could fight the wither if we want to again. Probably not going to do that anytime soon, but we have at least the option. Guys, I think we're about done with this episode. It's coming together, and we are pretty much finished with this build. Speaking of the blacksmith shop, last thing we need to do today is come over here to the project wall. It's been a few episodes since we've done this, and we need to take off the couple of things that we completed recently. There we go. And now we have 2 empty spaces. We actually have a lot more empty spaces, so if you guys have suggestions for what you want to see in the future, put those in the comment section. Nether Wart Farm. We are going to build one of those. I mentioned that earlier in the episode. And we also want to build a world tour and download. Just kidding, that's not a build. We are doing a world tour and download day. That has been a pretty commonly suggested thing throughout my season so far, and we're not quite there yet. Don't get your hopes up. It's not going to be in the next episode. That right there is going to be in the next episode. But the world download and world tour are on the radar. They are coming. I just want to make sure I've got enough content that it makes it worthwhile for you guys to download. So, if you've ever wanted to play in this world and get just a personal tour yourself and walk around and see what's here, that will be available to you at some point in the very near future. Unfortunately, guys, it is time for me to wrap this episode up. We are over half an hour at this point, and look how awesome that looks behind us. It is nighttime, and that fire and lava really makes that place glow. I'm really happy with how this project turned out today, and I hope you are too. I hope you enjoyed watching this episode. If you have any suggestions for what you'd like to see in the future, or just want to tell me what you liked about this episode, or even what you didn't like, I value your feedback. I value your comments, and just the interaction that we can have through my YouTube channel. That is one of the most fulfilling things about doing this, is being able to interact with you guys and to get suggestions, and so I can play better, and to give you guys suggestions so you can play better, and we can just do this whole Minecraft thing together. It's a great community. It's one of the best parts about the game, and one of the best parts about being on a YouTube channel. So please leave comments, please leave likes if you like this video, and again, if you haven't subscribed already, please do so at this time, and I would really appreciate your support. Like I said in the blacksmith shop, stay tuned for the next episode. It is going to be a good one. We are going to finally go to the end, and we are going to fight the Ender Dragon and hopefully win, and hopefully we can find ourselves an Elytra at some point. It's going to be good. Stay tuned, check it out when it comes out. But for now, I need to get going. As always, my name is BluJay, and I've got to fly on out of here. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.